Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about that piece of shit LeBron James I Promise School and how it's actually a total failure, something I called several years ago when it first opened up and when LeBron cost myself and other taxpayers tens of millions of dollars by falsely claiming he was paying 100% of the profits to create the damn thing, when in reality, his bitch ass actually paid about 5% of the overall cost for it and put 95% on Ohio taxpayers. Pay the fuck up, motherfucker! We want our damn checks! Seriously. It's fucking bullshit, dude. The fact that the state of Ohio doesn't have an active arrest warrant for the son of a bitch's fucking arrest right now is everything wrong with the state currently, honestly, dude. The guy is a fucking two-bit mediocre ball player. He literally made tens of millions to billions of dollars throwing a fucking ball through a hoop playing a children's game. He is probably one of the dumbest pieces of shit I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, honestly. Legitimately, you look at any time that you've ever had interviews with LeBron James done in like locker rooms and stuff like that, he would always have like a book in his hand, but it would always be on the first fucking page of the damn book because he's an illiterate piece of shit himself at that point. And then you wonder why you got stories like this coming out right now, which is obviously from the Gateway Pundit a couple days ago. And I'm actually shocked this didn't also say reading on this one, which was not one 8th grade student at the LeBron James Akron school has passed a state math test in 3 years. Yeah, why am I not surprised by that, dude? That dude looks like such a fake-ass Malcolm X, too, man. Like, I swear to God, like, he literally took his entire inspiration from, like, Malcolm X and, like, the biggest other black supremacist from American history is what it was, dude. And then tried to push himself off as, like, this great fucking, like, second coming of what the fuck ever is what it was. Like some Judas and the Black Messiah shit or something like that. And it's just such a fucking bunch of nonsense, dude, is what it is. For those wondering, obviously I hate LeBron James for many reasons. Obviously the biggest one being that he cost our state tens of millions of dollars in fucking taxpayer fees that he's never going to reimburse us for, and has fucked us over constantly with stupid shit. Not to mention the fact you had a kid who was literally beaten to death outside that I Promise school, but because he was white, LeBron didn't say a fucking word about that kid being killed by a bunch of minorities. Yet we'll sit there and cuck for the fucking minorities to get off with light ass sentences now that killed the kid. So yeah, fuck you, LeBron, you racist piece of shit. Anyway. Said LeBron James I Promise School in Akron, Ohio is facing major backlash from Akron Public School Board members after it was reported that the school has not had one student from its 8th grade class pass a single state math test in over 3 years. Akron Public School Board member Victoria McKittrick was shocked by the new revelation and stated not one in 3 years after she was presented with data that showed not one single student in the school's fall 8th grade class would pass a Ohio State math proficiency test. Said Kathy Lachty Clifford, who serves as Akron District's Director of School Improvement, went on record saying the new finding is, quote, discouraging, despite receiving massive funds from the LeBron James Foundation, along with local, state, and federal funding, which is where pretty much every single dollar really came from. It wasn't anything from LeBron's bitch ass, dude. You had like I said, it was like 1 or 2% from fucking LeBron's ass, and it was 98% from us is what it was. The I Promise schools, black students, and those with disabilities, first of all, how the fuck was this school even allowed to exist to begin with? Because it was obviously a race-based fucking elementary school, dude. Like, that's what I don't understand at all, dude. Like, right then and there, it should have been fucking shuttered to begin with and never been allowed to even take a dime of fucking local, state, or federal taxation money. But said are now testing in the bottom 5% of the entire state. Well, I'm not surprised by that, dude. I'm not surprised by that at all. It's not surprising. You look, seriously, you look at the kids that they brought out of the fucking hood into the school to be this fucking school, dude. It's a bunch of ghetto motherfuckers that are never going to learn anything, man. It's the exact same thing as LeBron James' bitch ass. If the motherfucker couldn't throw a goddamn ball through a fucking hoop, he would have been in the hood to this day, honestly. He'd probably be dead someplace, honestly, in a fucking, like, ditch adjacent to the fucking hood because he probably got killed in a fucking gangbang shooting is what it is, dude. Where he was selling drugs on the fucking street or whatever the case be, and it was him and rival gangs shooting at each other and them killing each other is what it'd be then. And that's the problem right there. And that is the real issue entirely when you look at all the so-called, like, black leaders that are celebrities and stuff like that, or Hollywood dipshits like LeBron James is it's a bunch of ignorant ass motherfuckers, dude. They don't give two shits about these kids' future. That it's obviously being proven right there, where you have not one 8th grader for over 3 years being able to pass a state math test that are easy as fuck, by the way. Like, obviously, they're either A, illiterate, or B, fucking, like, illiterate, and then something else shit as well on top of that one, dude, for, like, math proficiency is what it'll be then. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie on that one. The Akron school board members need to look into everything at this point, dude. Need to look into the reading proficiency of these kids and look into everything at that point. Because I guarantee if you're talking to the 8th grade class there, they'll probably have like a 3rd or 4th grade reading level at this point, honestly. I mean, hell, it can be proven already. I think it was AK Nation News was talking about the other day. He was talking about how when you look at most of these young minority kids that are getting out of these school systems nowadays and stuff like that, when they're graduating from the 12th grade, they have like maybe a 4th grade to 5th grade reading level at most. And it's just pathetic, dude. And that's a failure across the board on a lot of things, actually. It's not only, the teaching in the school systems. It's the, constant fighting in these school systems by these punk ass kids and stuff like that. And the bad ones not being taken out so the good ones can actually learn. And it's like a myriad of factors, honestly. But again, it really starts on the top down with the fucking celebrity dipshits that want to sit there and act like they give a crap about these kids, when in reality, all it is a bunch of virtue signaling bullshit, dude, entirely. It's the exact same crap we've seen with all these people, dude, over the years. It's exactly why you have all these people that are like, oh, look, I voted no on issue 1 right now here in Ohio. Yeah, they're just a bunch of virtue signaling fucking turd burglars is what it is, bro, seriously. They're a bunch of leftist fucking cunts in general. It's just like LeBron's bitch ass right there a few years ago. You had him basically sucking Hillary Clinton's dick off for her ass during the 2016 presidential election, dude. And him, like, basically jerking her off and all the way through the fucking stages is what it was. And then being like, oh, I can't believe she lost. And, like, telling people to vote for her ass and stuff like that. It's like, first of all, nobody fucking cares what you want to say, Hollywood. Go fuck yourself, dude. Like, that's my real problem entirely with politics in this country is all these fucking Hollywood literal fucking pedophiles and pedophile enablers and shit like that, which I think LeBron James is more of a pedo enabler than he is a pedo at this point. But it's people like that, honestly, that will know that this shit's going on, let it continue to go on because they're all getting like giant paydays and stuff like that from either China or Hollywood or whatever it is. Doesn't really matter, honestly. And the issue becomes a situation there where these individuals, because they're not speaking up and saying a damn thing, are just going along to get along kind of crap. And then it's basically they act as if their fucking like word is gospel and stuff like that, or they are God for that matter in some cases. Or it's just a bunch of false idols is what it really is. It's a bunch of false ideology from a bunch of asswipes who honestly should just be told to shut the fuck up is what it is. It's like, dude, your opinion matters no more than mine does because of the fact that it's like, just because you happen to have a name or claim to fame or whatever the case be, doesn't mean fucking jack shit, dude. And it shouldn't fucking mean jack shit. And the problem is that you have all these dumbasses out here in society that are like, oh, let me gobble that up like it's being fucking a big old bowl of shit, basically, that tastes like chocolate ice cream, honestly. It's like, nah, bro. If it smells like shit and it tastes like shit, it's probably a bowl of shit, honestly. It's not fucking chocolate ice cream, dog. Actually, the reason I brought up that analogy, actually, was because there was that one that one thing from 2020 election cycle where you had, I think it was Bernie Sanders supporters or whatever, and it was like them basically acting like they were eating chocolate ice cream or whatever, like voting for Biden when Bernie dropped out or whatever then. And in reality, it was just like a bowl of shit that they were eating on. And that's what it really is, though, man, for real. Anyway, but going back to the rest of this Gateway Pundit article, we're also going to talk about I Hypocrite's tweet about this in a couple minutes, too, as well, after we finish this article then. So, anyway. Yeah, it says, let's see. So, as black students and those with disabilities are now testing in the bottom 5% in the state of Ohio, said the low test scores will now cause the Ohio Department of Education to intervene at the school in a last effort attempt to reverse the downtrend in test scores Says, quote, promises kept. Akron school board members question I promise school test scores, poor test scores. And that was on the 27th. It says, per Yahoo, the fall's class of 8th graders at the I Promise School hasn't had a single student pass the state's math proficiency tests since the group was in the 3rd grade. Seriously, bro. So you're talking about they've been at that school for 5 years. 5 fucking years, dude. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Actually, no, sorry, 6 years. Yeah. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and now 8th grade, and not one of these motherfuckers in 6 years can pass a fucking state math test. Are you kidding me, bro? Who do they have teaching these kids? LeBron himself? God damn. Like, seriously, man. Or just his ignorant ass relatives, for that matter, honestly. Fucking ridiculous, dude. Yeah, this is not 1 in 3 years. Akron Public School Board members say about the stuff. It says 5 years into the I Promise School, a public school. Yeah, public school paid for by taxpayer funding, not LeBron's bitch ass fucking $1 billion money in his pants is what it is, dude. That operates in a partnership with LeBron James Family Foundation that literally gives a couple percent to the school and 98% comes from us is what it is. It says Akron school board members are starting to ask questions about whether I Promise is living up to its academic promises. It's not, dude. And it hasn't been to begin with, honestly. You should have been asking that shit 3 fucking years ago in the second year of the damn thing, dude. Fuck me, man. Seriously. And what continues on says, in recent years, the I Promise School has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Gateway Point reported back in June 2022 that a murder took place right outside LeBron's I Promise School, which was obviously this shit. And it was this little white kid right here that was murdered by all these fucking minorities that were sitting out there playing basketball at night. Now, granted, honestly, the kid fucked up because it was his dumbass friends that were shooting, I think it was the gel pellets or something of these people or whatever. But again, the fact that their response was when this white kid was trying to basically make peace with them to punch him in the face and then continue to ghetto stomp him to death. Like, nah, dude, every single one of these fucking minorities needs to be getting the death penalty in the state by fucking firing squad, honestly. And I'm going to say it like it is, baby. Because fuck every single one of these punks. Let's see what some of the comments here said. That's from 2 days ago. This married woman said, teachers are just passing them from one grade to the next to get rid of them because of the behaviors they're having to deal with. Yep, she's probably right about that one, actually. Like I said, it's basically the Obama No Child Left Behind thing that was created back in the end of his administration right before Trump took office. It's also in that same vein of things, the whole George W. Bush thing where it was No Child Left Behind policy back in the day. So it's a combination of those two things where you have all these young punk-ass kids that want to fight each other in the school system and not being expelled under that dumbass shit that Obama passed. And then you got the George W. Bush fucking No Child Left Behind policy that's basically fucking them over too on that one. Instead of actually keeping these kids. Like, that's the thing, right? And I can tell you that firsthand. As somebody who is autistic, I was held back twice in school. I was held back in 1st grade and I was held back in 7th grade. And it was for my own good because that was back in the day when they didn't know what autism was. So they couldn't actually do me on special courses, what it was for like essentially like different kinds of learning is what it was. Because there's certain ways that I can learn and there's certain ways I can't learn. And I've learned that over the years. Like, I'm much better as visual aid learning than I am as actual, put a book in front of me and then, like, have me, like, basically read an answer, try to write an answer, whatever the case be. And what's worse even, for that matter, for me personally, and actually I'm also more of a hands-on learner of stuff. Like, if somebody had me do a wood shop class or whatever, and it was, like, learning how to do like birdhouses and stuff like that, and that's how they teach me like trigonometry or some shit, or like even not geography. I'm trying to think of that one is now. Geometry, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, where it's like angles and shit. I would have been way better off doing that, honestly. But that's why I failed geometry in school, is because nobody could teach it to me the right way. And yeah, it's like a whole thing, man. But the thing is, like, I was really good at basic algebra and stuff like that. I was awesome at basic algebra. It was just when I got to geometry and stuff like that, and anything above that was all way over my head is what it was there. But anyway, Let's see, going back to this married woman's comment here. She said, yeah, one teacher's passing the next teacher because they don't want to deal with their behaviors. She said, I taught a CNA class for the last 5 years of my nursing career. You only had to have a high school diploma to take it. Saw so many black students with a high school diploma who could not read. When they failed my class, I was called a racist. One student did not know how many inches were in a foot. Are you fucking seriously, bro? Jesus Christ, bro. So when I told him there are 12 inches in a foot, so how many is in a foot, he could not tell me. I thought I would be shot walking to my car those days. Jesus, fuck, man. That is some pathetic ass shit right there. Let's see, somebody else responded here to that one a few minutes ago. It said, and these very same quote students will be hired over qualified Asians and whites because of the forced DIE, diversity, equity, inclusion, happening all across America, even colleges lowering standards for certain demographics to get their numbers up. Says public, affirmative action at worse, by the way, on that one. Says public school system is broken, has been for decades. Now we have generations, regardless of color, of uneducated adults having kids and not even realizing their kids are not even learning the basics. A sad state of affairs, but on track for what the NWO/globalists want, an uneducated populace, much easier to control via fear and lies. Exactly. And it's also easier to disarm people, too, for that matter, when they're stupid and just ignorant is what it is, dude. Whether that be willful ignorance or whether it be, ignorance from actually just being pushed ahead when there shouldn't be, is what it is. And that's the thing, right? Seriously. You're talking about some kindergarten/first grade level shit that this kid who was a high school graduate could not even tell you how many inches were in a foot, and when told how many inches were in a foot, was just like, I don't know. Like, what? Are you fucking retarded? Like that's an honest question at that point, dude. Like, are you seriously, like, mentally retarded? You're told the fucking answer and you can't even reiterate the fucking answer. Like, were you just not listening? Are you deaf? Like, Jesus Christ. Fuck, man. Shit. I'm going to continue on with some of these other ones in this. This is actually getting pretty good now. And I'm obviously going to go to iHypocrites thing too on this in a couple minutes here then. This person here said, a couple days ago, he said, but 100% of them passed the BLM burn, loot, murder test with honors. Yep, exactly. See, this guy here said a day ago, said, damn, this is really serious. How can these students become drug dealers if they are unable to understand math? Man, that ain't cool. I mean, to be fair, man, it's like half of them are carjackers anyway. So it's like, that's why they speed like crazy when they're carjacking, because they don't actually understand like the laws of the road is what it is, and that's why they get caught pretty easily. So, yeah. Okay, so after all, it's all about weights, measures, and counting cash. That's actually, by the way, why you actually have somebody else count the cash for you in many cases, man. That's why you got your side piece or whatever it is there to just hand her that stack of money and just count it off or whatever. And the thing is, when she hands it back to you a few $100s light, you don't even realize the difference because you don't know how to fucking count yourself, is what it is, dude. So, anyway. Let's see here. See, this person said, goes to show you the problem isn't a lack of funding, it's a problem of basic biology. Somebody else said in culture. Yeah, pretty much. Actually, this one's pretty much spot on, but they know how to hold the gun sideways while shooting at each other. Yeah. Sadly, pretty much, yeah, dude. Because you look at, again, most murder rates in this country, and it's usually black on black crime for that matter. It's also why you got that jackass up in Cleveland that couldn't kill anybody, and he just shot a bunch of people in the legs and torsos and shit. Because the guy couldn't aim for shit. He didn't understand trajectory because he didn't learn basic math skills is what it was, dude. Oh my god, it actually equates now. Holy shit. It's sad. And, like, I have to laugh because it's also so sad. And that's the whole point, dude. And again, you wonder, like, why you have people like the real Rick Ross, the guy who was the actual Rick Ross, not that fucking piece of shit scumbag rapper who was an ex-correctional officer who stole that guy's fucking identity. I'm talking about the little skinny Rick Ross guy who was dealing a bunch of fucking crack and cocaine and stuff like that for the Clintons back in the 80s and 90s before they sent him up to federal prison there. That dude, who calls himself Freeway Rick Ross is what it is, actually went and was discussing things with Alex Jones some years back now, and he was discussing about how you had this weird situation where it was basically like preschool to prison program, I think is what he called it, where you had these teachers when these kids were in like preschool, kindergarten, first grade, etc., telling them straight up, be like, oh yeah, that one, that one, that one, and that one, by the time they're like 14 are going to be in the correctional facility, and by the time they're adults, they're going to be in prison for life for murder or something. And it's because they were failing these kids. They were purposefully failing these kids to be the next generation of criminal element in this country instead of actually lifting them up and teaching them the basics and wanting them to get out of poverty and stuff like that. And it's sad and pathetic because, again, you got these pieces of shit like LeBron James sitting there, you know, fucking virtue signaling like a motherfucker, acting like he funded this entire school, taking full credit for the funding of the school and stuff like that. Yet, meanwhile, it was people like myself and everyone else in the state that paid taxes that are actually funding that fucking school's creation and its continued funding over the years now that it's existed. And what has happened? You have the continued failures of the entire class that started there in the third grade 6 fucking years ago. And now in 8th grade, they still can't have a basic standardization to where any of them can pass a damn math test, dude. From 3rd to 4th to 5th to 6th to 7th to now 8th. It is fucking pathetic, dude. It is damn disgusting. And it's like, at what point is it time to just shut the fucking door, man? Close the fucking book and be like, sorry, kids. LeBron fucked you. Go to him and beg for some money now. Seriously. I feel like a lot of these responses in this are just like kind of like low-key racist and stuff like that in a lot of cases here. Or like low-key like stereotype shit is what it is. Like this guy's here said school would have straight A's if it offered courses in shoplifting and carjacking. And then somebody else said and shooting sideways. It's kind of messed up, bro. Because, you know, you should want these kids, like, that's the thing. You should want these kids to actually be legitimately lifted out of poverty and become a better generation than the previous generation before them. And that's what most of us wanted all the time, honestly, dude. It's like all most of us really want to see out here is to see the next generation do just a little bit better than our generation did. But unfortunately, we're backslipping like fucking crazy now. And that's why I hate the progressives in this country so much, the leftist assholes like that, because they want to sit there talking about progress, yet they're the most regressive motherfuckers ever, and they're the ones trying to take us back to fucking legitimately segregation again. And what's sad is it's even working in a lot of cases, you know? And that's what I think is also fucked up, too, for that matter. You got all these quote-unquote historic black colleges that exist out here, but yet, if you had a historic white college, it would be considered racist. So why aren't historic black colleges considered racist? You know, seriously, it is an interesting question that is never going to get answered because, of course, you know, it actually is, and that's the whole point. I'm not going to say that one because that actually is legit racist. Let's see. Okay, this person was talking about just racial DNA and stuff like that. We're not going to talk about that one. Not going to mention that one. Actually, I'll say this one because fuck LeBron. Neither could, like, they're talking about the 8th graders not being able to pass their state proficiency test. I said neither could LeBron James pass it. He's a big dope. Yep, exactly, dude. And somebody else explains why LeBron couldn't comprehend the facts surrounding the never mind, can't read that. It's something that happened to his son recently, and I'll leave it at that. We all know what happened to that kid recently. So let's see. This person said it here correctly. It said, math was my strongest subject. Shop teacher, however, had to take pity on me and finish my project for me because I was a spaz with the power tools. We all have strengths and weaknesses. Identifying them helps us find a best way to in life, best path in life. This person said I'm in the IT field now, and I hire men. Talking to this Robert guy, saying hire men like you when I need new administrators. We're comprehensive and based on merit, and there is no shame in not choosing that path. So kids today are fed a line of BS that if they don't go to college, they will be losers forever. Now we have a bunch of 20-somethings that have no marketable skills but carry $200,000 in student loan debt they can never get out of or get out from under. Exactly. And that's another thing, too, I've talked about on the show before in past years and stuff like that is debt slavery. People don't realize that one are completely just up their own asses, honestly, dude, because you look at even myself right now. I went to college for a couple years of my life. They fucked me over halfway through my degree path because I was going to change it to something else. And if I had actually been able to continue on at that school and they had just given me another, couple semesters worth of cash is what it was to continue on my pathway, I could have showed them improvement there. But they put me in a catch-22 where it was basically, oh, you can show us improvement, but you got to pay for your own fucking classes and stuff like that, which I had no job at the time. Everything that I had coming in was because I was a full-time student. So it was everything that they cut off on me on that one. They cut off my rent. They cut off my food bill. They cut off everything at that point with that one yank of my funding, and essentially made me homeless overnight is what it was. Thank God at the time I was living with my family down in Columbus there, because if I hadn't been, and then a couple of days after that, whenever rent came due, I would have been fucked, dude. I would have basically been having to break my lease immediately, having been paying more money out the door then, and essentially either had to come straight back here or had to go basically find a job and find like temporary housing on some dude's couch or whatever, probably then. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit entirely, dude. And honestly, it is one reason why, truthfully, to this day, I don't think I should have them a fucking dime in student loan at all, dude, because of the way they fuck me. It's like, and the thing is, I have no problem, honestly, paying back like the original loans, which was like, I think like $7,000 or something. But the fact that it's now like 30-something thousand dollars that I owe almost, it's like, no, you can fuck yourself on that goddamn accrued interest, bitches, for real. So, anyway, it's not quite that much. It's like I think like recently it's like 27,000 or something like that is what it'll be, or 26,000 somewhere in there. But yeah, it's like 20 grand more in accrued interest than it should be, is what it is, dude, from what I actually got to take out. So it's a bunch of shit entirely, man. Somebody else responded back to that other guy that was talking about the $200,000 in student loan debt, aka debt slavery. Said these people also studied in fields where they can't get jobs because the United States corporations are outsourcing for cheaper labor, exactly, and it's usually to India and stuff like that. That's why you have that basically caste system and all these different tech companies and shit like that, where they have all these dumbass fucking school counselors telling these kids, oh yeah, go into the tech industry, and then meanwhile you have everybody do that, and at the same time we're giving H-1B visa holders from fucking India and every place else like that a bunch of free handouts to come into this country and take over these jobs. And then you wonder why you have a caste system created and stuff like that, where if you're not basically Indian and going into the caste system, you're basically fucked is what it is. And the worst part of it is you have these higher ups in these corporations like that that'll keep the lower guys down that are still on the visa systems and stuff like that, and basically tell them straight up, be like, oh, you want to fuck around, dude? You basically want to try to take over the boss's job or something like that, like we'll just send your ass back to India and get another person on H-1B visas is what it is, which is exactly why these bullshit visa lotteries need to be fucking completely done away with entirely, and why I've said for years now that all immigration into this country should be fucking null and void for the next 100 years is what it is. And if we did that correctly and we started booting motherfuckers out that are here illegally is what it is, dude, our country in the next 10 to 20 years would honestly be one of the best nations currently, by just booting out a bunch of illegals and booting out a bunch of fucking people that shouldn't be here in the first place because of BS immigration laws and stuff like that. And we would be much better off actually having Americans be American again and not have a bunch of fucking foreign nationals in our damn political system, for that matter. Your Ilhan Omar types, your Rashad Tlaib types, etc. there, or the state level versions of those, like that one fucking stupid cunt down there in Columbus that her and her buddy Mohammed are now trying to do World Refugee Day here in Ohio. And they're the primary sponsors of that bullshit when neither one should be allowed to hold office in the state or this country. So I found out about that one last night, actually. So, Where are we at now? Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go to the shit. Now I was trying to thought where is that now? Oh yeah, we're gonna go to the iHypocrite one here now. So this is on Twitter, a few hours back now, where you had the headline there, and as this person said 15 hours ago, he said, "You can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit," which is what LeBron James is, a chicken shit. By the way, how the fuck is it like going back to not only LeBron stealing taxpayer money from taxpayers here in Ohio to fund his stupid ass school? How the fuck is this dude not being arrested on the fact that he literally called for the assassination of an Ohio cop that saved a black girl from being stabbed to death by another black girl down in Columbus about a year and a half or so ago? Like that alone should see that guy in handcuffs right now. And like I said, with another arrest warrant out for his arrest on that one. Going down this line there, you have this Michael guy say, ignorant population leads to the downfall of a republic and society as a whole. This is something the World Economic Forum is counting on, meaning LeBron, his idiotic people is what it is. Somebody else says, because money doesn't solve raising kids, good parenting and good values is the key. But why can't this be said out loud? Would it ruin government programs or something, lead people closer to God and personal responsibility? Yes, it would actually. Let's see. Somebody else said LeBron miscalculated. That was the thing about things. I like this one actually because it's ask, not ax. You can't ask me a question, bro. You can ask me a question. Somebody else said, to be fair, LeBron James probably couldn't pass one either. Meaning an eighth grade proficiency test on math. I wouldn't be surprised if he couldn't, honestly. That's the sad part, dude. And mind you, this motherfucker is the same age I am. He's 38 years old. So, and of course, as this person said here, math is racist, white supremacy, slavery, which is exactly what a lot of these dumbass leftist articles love to say these days about how math is racist and stuff like that. And even like they're bringing up the whole crap of like time is racist and all this other stupid shit. That's what it is, dude, because they're all a bunch of idiots, is what it is. Let's see. Somebody else said, yet Americans are good. Second place at 2023 anti-math Olympiad to China, obviously. Let's see. Somebody else said, isn't LeBron owned by the same people who own TikTok, meaning the CCP? Yes, it is. See what this one says. LeBron school and 23 schools in Baltimore. What could they possibly have in common? 23 Baltimore schools have 0 students proficient in math per state testing results. Yep. It's the same across the board, too. It's why you have places like Oregon. I'm trying to think who the new governor there is right now. I got to go look it up real quick, actually. Because I know it was Kate Brown. I think it was Kate Brown that instituted it or whatever, but then the dumb bitch took over there as Oregon's governor here in 2022. Or after 2022 election in 2023 here, she actually made it even worse now to where you can now have essentially like kids never learn anything and get passed through and stuff like that because she's trying to make a legitimate generation of ignorant motherfuckers what it is, dude. Like she wants to make a generation of communists. And I'm not surprised in the least, dude, because even just looking at Tina's dumbass right here, someone's name is Tina Kotek. She looks like a man to begin with. She looks like Ted Wheeler a little bit, honestly. So, yeah, just fucking retarded, dude, entirely. And then, of course, her predecessor being Kate Brown, this fucking ass clown who should have actually been arrested back in, I think it was 2019 when she did that, when you had almost a civil war between Oregon and Idaho, where you had a bunch of state reps flee to Idaho to basically tell Kate Brown to fuck herself and tell all of her Democrats to go fuck themselves on the, I think it was called cap and trade, if I'm not mistaken. And it was basically to make Oregon the first state to do some real stupid bullshit about climate crap that would have never actually done anything to actually solve the real issues and would have basically just been a virtue signal for Kate Brown's ass to be like, look, we're the first at doing this thing. And it would have been like all kinds of weird taxations put on people and stuff there in Oregon. And yeah, you had a bunch of sitting Republicans that were like, fuck you, cunt. We don't have the numbers here, but we also not going to give you the referendum numbers either. So we're going to flee the fucking state. And you had her basically threatening to flee, to send state troopers after him. And the one state rep guy even said, he's like, okay, that's cool. If you're going to do that, make sure that they are, how do you put it now? That they're good shooters and bachelors or something like that is what it was. Because he was basically talking about, like, yeah, you fuck around, you're going to find out, bitch, and make sure you're not going to send married men to try and take us out because we're going to take them out kind of thing. So, but yeah, she should have been arrested on the spot for high treason on that one, dude. She wasn't is the problem. So, and now you got this fucking dumbass cunt who's even worse than her ass now. So, you go from one terrible Democrat to the next terrible Democrat there. And yeah, you're looking at look at Tina there in that picture, and then look at Ted's ass in this one. Like the guy looks very similar to her. Like all these Democrats, I swear to God, look like each other for that matter, dude. But they are some of the dumbest people ever, man. And then you got Oregon Governor Tina Kotek approves billions to be spent on housing crisis. Vetoes several small bills. Pump your own gas bill likely to fail, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see. Oregon Governor signed bill allowing drivers. Okay, she did sign that to allow drivers to pump their own gas. By the way, for those who didn't know, Oregon was the only state in America, I think the only state in America, where you couldn't pump your own gas and had to have a gas station attendant do it for you. It's like, nah, bitch, get out of the fucking car and pump your own goddamn gas. Every other state does it already. Fucking stupid, man. Just a bunch of lazy fuckers up there in Oregon, I swear to God, dude. Let's see. Self-serve gas is officially coming to Oregon. Yeah, small bills, pump your own gas bill will likely become law. Let's see, will Oregonians get to pump their own gas? Governor Kotek says she'll answer the question Friday. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Good Lord. And yet, meanwhile, she's just as much of an anti-gunner, if not more of an anti-gunner than Kate Brown was. She's also signed a bunch of anti-gun shit into place there, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, here you go. 6 months in, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek remains country's least popular governor. Not surprising, dude. Probably because almost nobody knows who she is, and the ones that do know who she is know she's a fucking stupid cunt is what it is, dude. Who has no business being in office at all. She looks like she wants to be Ellen DeGeneres, honestly. Actually, you know, she kind of oh my God, you know what she reminds me of in this picture here? A young Bernie Sanders, of all people. So I'm not surprised by that one. You know, you model yourself after another communist, like you just look like other communists is what it is, man. Yeah, let's see. Remains least popular governor in the country, according to new quarterly poll released. Only 45% of Oregonians polled approved of her performance so far, while 39% disapproved, according to a new poll. It's a slight step up from where she was in the April poll, where 42% of respondents approved of her and 39% disapproved of her ass. So, I'd like to see more people say fuck her then, honestly, dude. Let's see. Freshman Republican governors Joe Lombardo of Nevada and Jim Poland of Nebraska, who also fell below 50% in April survey, have gained in popularity as constituents get to know them better. Lombardo now has 57% approval rating and 26% disapproval rating, while Poland has 51% approval and 29% disapproval. I would say, honestly, Poland's probably the better one there because he actually did make Nebraska a constitutional carry state this year is what it was in his first term. So, you know, if that's not going to win, like, that's the thing though, right? You're going to have the win favors with everybody else out in the, you know, sticks and stuff like that of that state, but it's going to be the shithole fucking major cities like your, that are all criminal hell pockets there, like Omaha and, I'm trying to think what the other one is now. Lincoln, that's what it was. Lincoln, Nebraska was the second major city they have in that state. But yeah, it's interesting though. But needless to say, yeah, a lot of people were basically just shit talking LeBron on the hypocrite guys Twitter account. They're saying LeBron couldn't pass the 8th grade math proficiency test either. So, yeah, not surprising, dude. Not surprising. Let's see here. As this person said also from the article, but last year's 6th graders lost ground when they were in 5th grade. 7% were proficient in the reading test. In 6th grade, now it's just 2%. So yeah, they're just totally illiterate, dude. They don't have basics in math or reading. Hell, can they even write for that matter? Is it just going to be them writing the fucking letter X again, dude? To just like go back to old signing your mark kind of shit then? Jesus Christ, man. The worst part of that is, too, by the way, it's a failure on LeBron's part 100% here because of the fact that he's allowing this shit to happen on the school that he basically, you know, toted out as such a fucking great thing and everything else like that. And was like, oh, yeah, I promised to make this next generation so much better and stuff like that, even though he's making them worse now is what it is. But at the same time of that whole thing, now it's gotten to the point where you're not only fucking your own little shitty school there, buddy, you're fucking the rest of the state, asshole, and you're bringing kids like my fucking niece down, and you're bringing kids like my fucking nephew down, you fucking scumbag, and you're fucking up their school systems with your shit because you're having them potentially actually be legitimately good and literate in their fucking, you know, different grade levels there and stuff like that. And yet your stupid motherfucking kids here, I promise, can't pass shit there. So you're dragging down the rest of the schools in the state is what it is, dude. And you're dragging down the educational system as a whole in this state is what it is. So yeah, fuck you, LeBron, you douchebag. Fucking asshole. I'm going to go back to reading some more of these comments here on the thing here. I definitely want to read this one where I have the thing up here is what it is. Because it was talking about LeBron's dumbass and arrogance here. This guy said here, so LeBron is so arrogant. Every time I hear him, there's a lecture coming out of his lecture coming out of his mouth about something. He could clean up his own house before preaching to us. Exactly, dude. And that's the thing too, as well. And that's the problem with so many of these fucking celebrities, dude. They want to sit there and virtue signal and bitch and moan about the American people or whatever the case be, or our gun rights or our constitutional rights for that matter, or whatever it is. Yet, meanwhile, they have some of the most fucked up places of everybody right now, dude. Like, their houses are way more fucked than ours are right now. They can't even keep their own shit under wraps is what it is, dude. So, this person says somebody else couldn't pass English, thanks liberal colleges. Apparently it was whoever's writing the actual thing there. They actually, that was a typo, obviously, because they just didn't space it out and didn't put a T in there. But that is pretty fucking pathetic, honestly, dude. So, all right, let's keep going back down here now. This person said LeBrandon School is a haven for scholars. Yeah, pretty much. Following in the footsteps of this great mind being LeBron James. So they're trying to say there for why people couldn't pass. That's funny. Yeah, about right. This person here says, who uses math anyway? They couldn't be teaching morals, nuclear family concepts, and about money to those kids. You realize in order to do that, you actually would have to be proficient in math to actually count money and stuff, dude. Like, that's the literal first fucking thing about knowing finances and stuff, dude, is how to count, which includes mathematics, the basics of math. Some black excellence there from a few people. Yeah. I'm smart, bro. I am wearing glasses, being LeBron's dumbass in that picture. Again, like I said, when you look at that look at this picture of LeBron James there with like the glasses and the suit and everything. I swear to God, there is a picture of Malcolm X out there. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick, actually, where it was like his old like go-to like look and stuff like that. And yeah, okay, here you go. So got the picture of LeBron there. Gonna go ahead and stop screen sharing for a sec, and then re-screen share this photo here of Malcolm X. And yeah, it's pretty much exactly spot on there, dude. The glasses, the suit. I think it's even the same frame of glasses, if I'm not mistaken, dude. It's like those same kind of horn rim glasses and stuff like LeBron had there. So yeah, you can't tell me honestly that dude's not modeling himself after Malcolm X, dude. He 100% is, honestly. So, and then going back to LeBron, yep, yeah, pretty much almost the exact same horn rim glasses, dude. That's Malcolm X. So, yeah, not surprising at all, dude. Because that's what LeBron really thinks of himself, dude. He thinks he's the modern day Malcolm X is what it is. And it's like, yes, you are the modern day Malcolm X, LeBron, because you are a black supremacist piece of shit, bro. Fuck you, you fucking racist prick. Seriously, man. And people are like calling it out for what it is right now. This person here said Ron DeSantis, a good universal school choice policy would be great policy. One standardized test a semester, must be a nonprofit test, must accept all kids, but can quickly kick out anyone for behavioral code infractions. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. My eyes are a little bit sore right now. I'm probably gonna take a nap here in a little bit. Yeah, I could. That's exactly how all schools should work. By the way, it's like if you're sitting there trying to fight people and stuff like that in the school, guess what? Your ass is gone, dude. Zero tolerance, and you can bring anybody in there that you want, man. So, okay, this is what I was talking about right here, man. This person actually called it out correctly, and I'm going to show you the picture here. And this is how we're going to end up today's episode. I talked about LeBron James earlier, only reading the first page of a book and stuff. Right there. Only teach the first pages of any book at LeBron James Middle School. First page of a book, first page of a book, first page of a book, first page of a book. All for LeBron James, all 4 different times with his time and different basketball things. Honestly, though, okay, never mind. Yeah, it was just the way that one of them was the pictures that were set there. I was thinking he was reading the last page of the book actually, but no, that would be the first page of most books and stuff. Or bare minimum, like if you look at at least a couple of these, maybe it's like 3 or 4 pages in though. But yeah, it's not far in, dude. And it's like every single time he is pictured with a book, it's always like the very first area of it, like the first page, first 5 pages, something like that. So, legitimately, like the guy is an ignorant motherfucker, dude. And like I said, I guarantee you, the only reason LeBron even passed high school is because they were like, "Oh, cool, you can throw a ball through a hoop. We'll just give you the easiest testing possible, and we know you're illiterate as fuck, but we're gonna pass you through anyway, dude." It's why he never went to college and went straight to the NBA and stuff like that, dude, because he couldn't fucking pass out of high school legitimately to even have good enough grades to go to college. So, yeah, the guy's just a piece of shit in general, dude. And then, like I said, he's fucked over this state many times in his life, actively doing criminal shit, which should be seeing him in the prison cell right now in the state of Ohio. Honestly, I'll say it like it is right now. If I was governor of the state, there would be at least 2 active arrest warrants out for LeBron James' arrest right now. One would be for the fucking theft of a shitload of fucking taxpayer money for the I Promise school. The second would be for the calling of basically the murder of that cop that had to defend the other girl there in Columbus a couple years ago. So it would be inciting violence and stuff like that would be one of the charges, and then the other one would be grand theft of taxpayer funds and stuff like that. So anyway. But that's pretty much where we're at for the day, though. I'll be back probably Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, depending. I just realized I only got maybe like an hour and a half to 2 hours left on this account right now until the end of the month or whenever it's going to be that this resets and stuff. And then I'll have to jump back to my other account then, because I think that just reset a couple of days ago is what it was. And we'll start doing the 20-hour stuff on that again then. We'll probably most likely do a Thursday stream on that if that be the case then. And what I might do actually is I might just do a thing the next day or two is what it is to start working on some stuff and doing like another gaming chat or something like that and just burn off the rest of the time on this one or whatever, so we move back to the other one then if that be the case then. So, but anywho, that being said, to end this off with a little bit gaming update there, was pulling some stuff here a little while ago from my daily survival challenge stuff. Ended up cracking another Mercer in my main account, so that's pretty cool because now it allowed me to get 50 more fragments for that one. So now things have changed slightly from what I mentioned the other day in the one gaming chat, because it was going to be Laura and then Alpha that were going to be leveled up and stuff like that with this fragmentation at the end of the month and stuff like that. Most likely, I think we're going to do another knife challenge here in the next like week or so is what it is. And so I'm going to level Mercer out entirely to level 100 then in that account. And then we'll probably still do Alpha as one of them. But I'm thinking actually right now, because Lydia is getting pretty close to being a levelation up as well. So we might just do her up is what it is then, because we already got beta up to 92 now. So we'd have like basically 92 beta, 94 Lydia potentially, and then a 100 alpha is what it would be then. So, and then that would be a pretty good set of dudes for like either the second or third formation. And then I found out recently that yes, in fact, I was right about the 25 thing. You have to have everything to level 25 to unlock that fifth form. Then in season 6, and that's what it is. So it'll be sometime probably season 6 or 7 that I unlock the fifth form then, because it'll take me that long to do all my dudes up all the way to that and stuff. But other than that, that's pretty much where we're at for the day, though. LeBron James can suck my dick, is what it is. So we'll leave it at that right now, because fuck that guy, is what it is, man. His school sucks, legitimately. It can be proven that it sucks ass. You are a fucking failure to every child in this state, LeBron. You are a fucking inspiration to nobody, you dickless loser. And you're a fucking puppet of the CCP who can go eat an asshole right now. Fuck you. Hope you all enjoy this episode, and I'll see you all on the next one later.